everyone, I am Janhavi. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you guys are new over here, then welcome to my YouTube channel. As you guys have already seen the title, in this one, we're going to be talking about 5 techniques to learn any language out there. And obviously, we're going to be taking the example of English because most of my viewers want to learn the English language. So 5 techniques to learn any language out there. Now, before doing this, answer me a question. What are the 4 main components of any language? I'm not talking about 5, I'm talking about 4 main components. What are the 4 main components of any language? Think about it, and we have talked about this before as well. I don't know if you guys have got it right, but if you've thought about listening, reading, writing, and speaking, then you're correct. These are the 4 main components of any language out there. Now, how are you gonna incorporate all of these in your daily life depends on you. You know, what you listen to, what you read, how you speak, what you write, it all depends on that. But you have to incorporate all 4 of these. So let's talk about this one by one. The first one is listening, which is the first step, the first technique. What can you listen, and how can listening help you? And when you listen, then how are you supposed to listen in order to improve your language? So the first part, listening. Now you can listen to anything, but as long as somebody is fluent in a language, you gotta listen to that person, A native speaker, for example, listen to a native speaker, listen to their podcast, listen to their songs, listen to their speeches, listen to their interviews, watch their movies, and watch their web series as much as you can. Now, I'm not saying, okay, you have to do this every time. You are not supposed to do it every time. But the one part I am gonna stress, you cannot do it for 10 minutes a day and think you can become an extremely fluent speaker. That is absolutely incorrect. You cannot become a fluent speaker if you are just doing it for 10 to 15 minutes a day. That is not true, Everybody is like, every tutor out there is like, give it 10 minutes, then give it 15 minutes, give it 20 minutes a day, and that is going to be good. No, a language is about immersing yourself in that environment. A language is about surrounding yourself with that environment. A language is about creating that internal environment. And how do you create that internal environment? By doing it as much as you can. So for listening, whenever you're listening to anything, if you're watching something, if you're listening to songs, anything, so start doing all of those in English. That's how you incorporate listening in your daily life. All right? So even if you listen to 20 minutes, even if you listen to 25 minutes, it doesn't matter. As long as whenever you're listening in English, you're good to go. The next part is, after listening comes reading. Now with reading, what can you do? Now again, I'm not gonna say, all right, do it 10 minutes a day and you're good. But if you do not have enough time to read, like for example, if you do not read right now, so take out 20 minutes of your day and start reading. It can be a novel. Now, if you're at a very basic level, so start with a novel. If you're at a bit intermediate level, start with more novels, advanced kind of novels, or magazines or essays. And if you're already at an advanced level, go with newspapers, go with articles, journals, research papers, anything out there. So whatever you can get your hand on according to your level, start reading. Now, how do you incorporate reading in your daily life? Whenever you go on your social media and there's always a caption, so follow those people more who writes those captions in English. Follow those people whenever you're gonna read, and the more you're gonna read in English, the more it's gonna fit in your brain, mind. So that's how you incorporate reading in your daily life. Now, after reading, what is the next step? The next step is actually speaking. Writing, we're gonna go at last. So once you have read, once you have listened to a lot of things, now it's pretty obvious that a lot of things are in your mind regarding English. They can be words, they can be sentence structures, it can be anything, idioms, phrases, expressions. You also have to speak. A swimmer can only learn how to swim once he goes in the water. So a speaker can only learn how to speak once you start speaking. So you have to start speaking. You can know all of the rules out there and still not become a fluent speaker. Why? Because you have not been practicing enough. So you have to start speaking. And speaking, it doesn't mean, okay, so first I'm gonna listen and read and then I can just start from, the next week or probably a week after that. No, speaking, it starts from day one. Whatever you have listened or read, mimic all of those things, or not even mimic whatever you've read that out loud. Speaking practice for your pronunciation as well. That's going to help you a lot. The next part is writing. Now, what's up with writing? Writing helps you put down your ideas, and it also gives you a clear idea of what you're writing. For example, if you're writing a sentence, is that I am a girl. So over there, you're gonna notice every grammar portion. You're gonna notice, okay, if A is gonna be here or not. So you're gonna work up your mind regarding that language. Because if you do not have clarity, you're always going to be hesitant to talk in that language, and writing brings that clarity. So start writing. Now, I'm not saying is that whenever you're writing, write that in English. Nah, you also get to chat and conversate with your people, on WhatsApp and everything. But take out 10 minutes of your day and journal what you can write. What did you do today, and what are you going to do tomorrow? So start writing. And now at the end, if you guys have done all of these things, what is that one thing that is common in all of these? Like, what is a language made up of? What is a language made up of? It's words, vocabulary, obviously. So through listening, through reading, you're gonna take out a lot of vocabulary. So give it 10 words per day, all right? I'm not saying a lot of them, but 10 words per day. Learn those. Now, you do not have to cram those. You do not have to memorize those. Obviously, repetition, it helps a lot. But you also have to start using those words, incorporate those words in your daily life, whatever you're speaking, whenever you're writing. So start using those words in sentences. Do you know why we forget after we learn words? That's because we do not practice enough. That's because we do not use those words in different sentences in our conversations. So you gotta do that, even if you do not have someone. So whenever you're writing, I ask you to write. So whenever you're writing, use those new words in your writing. Whenever you're speaking, use those new words in your speaking. The next day, learn 10 more words, use those as well, and use the words that you learned on the previous day. All right, start doing all of these. And at the end of this video, after all of these 5 very, very simple techniques, but the most important out there to learn any language, if you can, if you want it like a structure, like if you want a structured listening, speaking, writing, and if you are just at a very, very basic level, or if you just want a content out there or a syllabus, so go and start learning from a teacher so that you can stay connected with that language. And for that, I also have my courses out now on my website, which is www.janhavipawar.com. Make sure to go check that out. The link is in the description box below. So till then, bye everyone, stay safe.